Let me explain this a bit, because I feel the culture that has developed amongst us, the Shia, our understanding on why the Imams were sought after, why the Imams were killed, is a bit different than what I have explained. I think I can say I previously also felt this way. This is the way I was brought up before looking at the evidence and seeing, no, it's different. What is it? One of the ideas that's out there is that for some unknown reason, there are people that just hate the Ahlulbayt. When we go through Ziyarat Ashura, for instance, you mention certain names in the Ziyarah, correct? When you mention those names and we say, Allahumma al'an filan, Allahumma al'an the other person, the way we think of that is that this person had these grudges against Amirul Mu'mineen, against Sayyidul Shuhada. He hated the Imam and he wanted to kill him. Why? Some unknown reason. It's just this personal grudges. The people that didn't allow Amirul Mu'mineen to be the Khalifa after the Holy Prophet, they had personal grudges. They just hated Amirul Mu'mineen. They didn't hate the Holy Prophet for some odd reason, but they hated Amirul Mu'mineen. Why? Some personal reason. They had this hatred against the Imam. They had this hatred against the lady Fatima Zahra. They came to her door and they did what they did. They had this hatred. The wife of Imam al-Mujtaba somehow developed this hatred, or just gave in to some plot and she got this poison and she killed the Imam, because Muawiyah had this hatred against Imam al-Mujtaba. Unknown reason. Why would, I've raised this question, I really want you guys to think about this. I feel that deep down in our understanding, in our hearts, in our thoughts, this is the way we feel. We don't think why, we just think that, okay, maybe it's some personal reason. The people in Karbala that came and committed the atrocities that we talk about these nights and we shed tears. Why? They had this hatred against the Imam. The Khulafa, the Abbasid Khulafa, they had this hatred. Why is it that all the authorities had this hatred of the Imam? It can't be something that's personal. Okay, this guy hated the Imams, personal reasons. Next Khalifa, personal reasons. Next Khalifa, personal reasons. How long is this going to go on for? It can't be personal reasons, personal grudges. Sometimes we feel it's sectarian. What do we mean by that? It's because we believe that the Imam after the Holy Prophet is Ali ibn Abi Talib, salamullah alayhi. We believe that we need to love them, and we believe we don't pray like this. We put our hands down. We believe we don't say as-salatu khayrun min an-nawm. We believe we say this. We believe we do that. These people didn't like our faith. Sectarian. This is an understanding that even exists today. What's going on in the world, in the globe around us, Shias being killed. Okay, do we see that? Yes, of course Shias aren't the only ones that are being killed. There are Sunnis that were being burnt alive in Burma these last couple of years. But when the Shias get killed and you see the perpetrators, the murderers, the ones that are carrying them out are people that are not Shia but they are Muslim, we call them Sunni. They call themselves Ahlul Jama'ah, Sunnah al-Jama'ah as well. So why? Sectarian. What does that mean? This guy believes that the first Khalifa is the best person after the Holy Prophet on the face of the earth. I believe it's Ali ibn Abi Talib. So he believes he needs to kill me. I come from this school of thought, they come from a different school of thought. So they need to kill me. It's sectarian. This is what we mean by sectarian. If that would be the case, then the Abbasids shouldn't be killing the Imams. The Abbasids shouldn't be killing the Imams. Why? Because if that sectarianism existed prior to the Abbasids, the Umayyads did that. Well, the Abbasids came to power based on the slogan that we are trying to avenge the blood of the Ahlulbayt. Husayn ibn Ali salamullah alayhi was killed. We are avenging his blood. The family of the Holy Prophet has been oppressed. We're taking revenge from Bani Umayyah. That was their slogan. The black flags that they raised in Khurasan, Abu Muslim al-Khurasani, the main commander that led the movement that brought into power the Abbasids, this was his slogan. He said, we are taking revenge from the Umayyads because of the atrocities they've committed against the household of the Holy Prophet. Well, they could have introduced the same ideology. They were the family of the Holy Prophet. They were close to the Ahlul Bayt. In Medina, they were neighbors. These people that became Abu Ja'far Mansur al-Dawaniqi, that killed Imam al-Sadiq salamullah alayhi, was the neighbor of Imam al-Sadiq in Medina before it all began. They had good relationships. In fact, when the Imam told them, Imam al-Sadiq told the Abbasids that you guys are going to become the rulers. He said, be careful with the right of the Holy Prophet and his family. They could have said, look, we are going to have that ideology as the official religion of our country, going against the Umayyads. The Umayyads had that other ideology. Now we're going to introduce this ideology. We'll change it. But they didn't. They still had grudges against the Ahlul Bayt. The reason is those examples that we mentioned, that they were fighting the authorities. They were active, or they were the leaders of an active opposition against the government of the time. All right? This is what they were. And this is why authorities had problems with them. If we understand that, and we understand that the Imam of our time, Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, وَأَرْوَاحُنَا لَهُ الْفِدَاء, is against any authority that is not just. He is against any government that is not just. And when he comes, all other governments, pretty much, save maybe a couple or one, are going to be authorities that will be fighting his movement. He is against these authorities, these governments that are ruling and oppressing people. If that's what the Imam is going to do, and when he was around, and we know their story, they were fighting against them, and they had to sacrifice. In other words, they didn't back down when the authorities started to crack down on them. I ask you, if the Holy Prophet says, Tuba, good tidings to the ones that follow the lead of their Imam during the time of the occultation, before his coming, they follow his lead before his coming, what are they going to be doing?